Question: how critical is the role of diplomats and ambassadors in world politics? Here to enlighten us is Ambassador Azmat Hassan, former ambassador for Pakistan to Malaysia, Syria, and Morocco, and now professor at Seton Hall University, John C. Whitehead School of Diplomacy. Welcome, Mr. Ambassador. Thanks for taking the time with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you, the skills that you have to bring to bear in international politics. So you have to be a kind of a master of psychology and all kinds of things.
Yes, the world is getting more and more interconnected and interdependent. So the role of diplomacy has changed in the 20th century. It has become more complex. Diplomats used to be generalists only dealing with political issues. Now diplomats have to be jack of all trades, and psychology plays a very big role. You have to put yourself in the feet of the person, the interlocutor, the person you are dealing with, and not only hammer your position and block out what the other person's aspirations are. So yes, it requires much more effort, much more training, and also specialization. You specialize in regions now, or by subject. So diplomacy has also evolved and become more complex.
I would imagine too, as you see the world political landscape evolve from where you once had U.S., Russia, China, now you have the emergence of Turkey, India, Pakistan, these other countries that, as you say, require much more knowledge of those regions. How much of that is cultural and how much of that is political? And are they two very separate things?
I think both politics and culture are involved. The fact is that we are no longer a bipolar world. In the Cold War period, it used to be the United States and the Soviet Union, whereas the other countries were followers of either group.
Right.
And they took a back seat. Now, as you have mentioned, new countries are emerging who are going to be powerful countries, economically powerful. China, the role of China, the role of Brazil, the role of India, the role of Turkey, and even Pakistan. So yes, in a multipolar world, you will have different equations, different permutations and combinations, and so the role of diplomats is cut out. That they have to be on the ball, they have to get to know, and they can't relax in a sense, because there are most of the problems today, whether it's North Korea, whether it is Iran, whether it is Syria, involve more than one country.
Very interconnected.
They are interconnected and they're multilateral.
Let's talk about one in particular, Pakistan.
Right.
I read one military expert suggest that Pakistan was key to preserving U.S. interests throughout the Middle East and Asia. Is that an overstatement, or is that true? How critical is Pakistan?
Well, the official take on Pakistan from the United States side is that it is a major non-NATO ally. Now that's quite a powerful designation of the role that Pakistan plays. It's Pakistan's geopolitical situation, the way it is situated near the Persian Gulf countries, which are crucial to the United States, if not only because of the oil, but because of the relationship between the Gulf countries. Very close to Central Asia, in a sense a gateway to the stans, to Turkmenistan, to Kazakhstan, etc. And of course, a neighbor of both Iran and Afghanistan. So the geopolitical situation of Pakistan and the relationship between Pakistan and the United States going back to 50 years. During the Cold War, Pakistan was allied totally with the United States.
Right, right.
So
that's become fractured now.
That has changed. Yes, I won't use the word fractured. I would say that it's a relationship which has been diluted, if I might use that word, because of what is happening in Afghanistan. That's one aspect. And the fact that the United States priorities in Asia are changing. The United States is moving much closer to India. Right. They have a nuclear pact with India. So some of these factors are influencing the Pakistan-US relationship.
And of course you have Afghanistan on one hand, where the U.S. says, well, Pakistan should be helping us there. And yet you have Taliban influences in both countries, where I guess it has fomented an element of distrust between the U.S. and Pakistan. How do we overcome that?
Yes, I think both countries do not want Taliban extremism. It's not good for Afghanistan and it's not good for Pakistan. But Pakistan has to factor in that it is a multi-ethnic country. There are 40 million Pashtuns, which is the ethnicity of the Taliban. They are Pashtuns. And there are about 12 million Pashtuns in Afghanistan. And they freely cross the border. There's a 1,500-mile long border.
Right.
And the border has some of the most remote valleys and territories. Anyone can come in here. Anyone can come from Afghanistan. Afghanistan has been in a war situation. That border is very difficult to patrol.
Right.
So to some extent, Pakistan is helpless.
And rather isolated.
And isolated.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How big a part does Pakistan play in the war on terror?
Pakistan has played a very crucial part in the war on terror. First, before the war on terror, in trying to control the Taliban government with which it had relations, it told them to give up Osama bin Laden. Mullah Omar refused. Pakistan advised, don't destroy the Buddhas of Bamiyan. So Pakistan has tried to moderate the Taliban. And now after the regime change there with the Karzai government, Pakistan has frequent contact. But you know, there are certain things that Afghanistan and Pakistan don't see eye to eye.
Sure.
There is a level of suspicion which both countries are trying to allay, but that suspicion is there, that mistrust is there. Because Pakistan is a larger and more powerful country facing Afghanistan, which has a lot of trouble, a lot of troubles currently.
Certainly.
But Pakistan is on the side of Afghanistan. Pakistan is not antagonistic to Afghanistan.
So we've got a lot to do there, a lot of work to do.
Exactly.
Ambassador, a pleasure to have you. Hope you come back and join us and give us a little more insight on what's happening there in that part of the world. And we thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much for having me.